I've had this for, I want to say 10 years, I think. So Big Bang is celebrating their 20-year anniversary this year. Wow, that makes me feel old. I first learned about them in 2012, which was, wow, that was 14 years ago. That was just when they were starting out. So, yep, I'm a VIP forever. That's the name of the fans of Big Bang. They're a K-pop group. I'm just gonna change that a bit. There we go. Okay, so you can see me more. Maybe I'll zoom in a bit more. Who knows? It's always fun to play around with the camera. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. I need my face to be a bit closer. Oh shit! No, don't zoom out again. Hello? Okay. Is that closer? Ah, close enough. But anyway. Oh, you had a nice trip on 2 grams of mushrooms yesterday. Ooh. That's quite a lot, Sam. That's back when I was doing the higher doses, that's how much I was doing, was 2 or like sometimes 2.5, but I never went above that. I think the highest dose I've ever done is 3 or 3.5, but that was when my tolerances had already built quite a lot. 2 grams is a mild dose to me. Well, if you're, I don't recall, and you don't have to disclose, but it's different the tolerance is different for everybody, and especially if you are on medications of any kind, that can definitely interfere. For me, I'm not on any sort of medications, and so I just, 2 grams is, I haven't had anything above 0.6 grams since, I want to say like almost a year. I haven't had an actual trip for almost a year. I don't know. It's just a bit too much for me. I like back when I was doing those higher doses, that was when I was like looking for something, you know. And as soon as I realized that I'm not going to find what I'm looking for, no matter how high of a dose I do, then I decided there wasn't really a point. But you'd say 4 grams is when I start getting to those harder experiences. Oh, I see. Do you get pretty emotional? I know that people sometimes struggle with the emotional aspect of a harder experience. I always find it fascinating when, like, my friend, for example, she says she doesn't like to do mushrooms because she doesn't like to be emotional. And I was like, interesting. That's what I enjoy. That's why I take mushrooms, is so I can unlock my emotional side. So I can actually feel something. So I can feel alive. But to each their own, you know what I mean? Like, to each their own. My friend I was doing it with, spent like 2 to 3. Oh, you did it together with somebody? Oh, that's interesting. We spent like 30 minutes crying, 20 to 30 minutes crying and laughing. I do like that aspect, the kind of like just really deep diaphragm laughing. I feel like I really wonder this, like, well, I think you get the benefits from either one. So whether you are crying or laughing, and sometimes you like don't know which one to do, so you just kind of do a mix of both. That's always the first time I ever did that, I thought I was actually insane. I thought I was actually like going crazy and that I had made a huge mistake. Yeah, the first time I ever did mushrooms, I was like, oh God, I think I'm going to permanently alter the structure of my brain. And then I thought for a minute and I was like, wait, isn't that what I want? I want to alter the structure of my brain. What are we talking about here? This is the whole point of why I'm doing this. I want to change my neural chemistry. I want to change everything. Okay, so I whipped myself back into shape. Sam was doing mushrooms and LSD at like 16. Well, I would say with that, to people who may be listening in, I would caution against doing that. I mean, everybody's their own person. They can make their own choices, but I've heard that the risk of developing hallucinogen persisting perceptive disorder is much higher if you are under 18. I would say even under 21. So I would not encourage anybody to try any sort of psychedelic until they are a full-fledged adult. I watched an interesting Andrew Callahan video about HPPD. I thought it was really fascinating. I have like smaller versions of it sometimes, and I think it's just like that's normal to have. I think that's normal to have. I think it just really depends on your specific brain and what it decides to do. Wouldn't recommend it, wouldn't discourage it. Yeah, it's up to people to decide and know the risks. Know the risks going in. If THC had been legal to teenagers when I was a teen, I think I would have had a much better experience as a teenager. Interesting. Well, I think it's still not legal, right? For teenagers anywhere. I think there is some research out there that also recommends against teenagers using cannabis. I'm not very familiar with cannabis as a plant medicine. When I was a teen, you couldn't dose what you want. I see. So there was less harm reduction then. It's always good to have harm reduction. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's really tricky area with teenagers. Like, oh yo, my eyes just started twitching. Oh, am I okay? Anyway, with teenagers, like if you have something that's a forbidden fruit, right? They're just gonna want to do that even more. And like, I'm not sure what I'd rather have my teenager I'd rather have my teenager partake in absolutely no substance. But I think if I had to rank the substances in order of how bad they are, I would say worst one is obviously alcohol, definitely alcohol. Second worst one is cannabis, and third worst one is psychedelics. That's my opinion. I think as a teen, having low doses of THC would have helped my mental health a ton. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the mental health benefits. Oh no. Oh wait. Well, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking just in terms of more mainstream. No, fuck opiates. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Fuck that. Anyway, so today I'm thinking about forgetting. I'm remembering that we forget. Remembering that everyone, how easy it is for us to forget everything. We forget, well, I have my question of the day. My question of the day is, how often do you remember the fact that you will die? Today I was driving back from the grocery store and I was kind of zoning out. And sometimes I don't know well, obviously I didn't know I was zoning out, but I suddenly had the realization that I will die. And it happens in like stages. There's like, maybe the thought will cross my mind, you will die. And I won't really like think about what that means. But sometimes the thought will come into my mind and then I realize, and everything will cease. Everything will end. Like you will end, your life will end. Hi, Refi. Like everything you know will be gone. Like you will cease to exist. You will die. And that washed over me. And I just like, it was like a dose of adrenaline. I was like, whoa, okay. Oh, yes, I forgot. Oh, sorry. Like, oh, shit. I need to get my act together right now. I put in an image in Discord of what I want to buy to remind me of death and life. Oh, let me see. Let me see my Discord. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Here's the image. There's the image right there. Looks like a skull. A skull with a beautiful amethyst on the inside. That looks really cool. I kind of want to reach in there and touch it. I just want to reach my finger in there. And something about amethyst, something about that texture of the, I don't even know what it's called. Of the amethyst. The structure of the amethyst is really cool. Oh my gosh, I just freaking fricked my overlay. I put my chat in, oh, girl, what, how do I, no. Wait, hold on. Fuck. Wait, what do I do? Control Z, Control Z. That's not gonna happen, is it? Hello? Can I please delete this? Hello? Every time. OBS is not very easy to use sometimes, I swear. How do I delete it? Does it even give me the option to delete? It doesn't even give me the option to delete. Remove. Thank you. Okay. But now, my issue is that my chat is... Oh, okay. I moved it. We're fine. Got the chat. I'm gonna move it back over here. Everything's fine. Pinned by Broadquest. Yeah, I know. Okay. Alright, we're turning off. Display capture. Anyways, that's my question, is wondering how often does that thought enter your mind? And how do you feel about it? 20... Yes, I am 27. You'll see worrying about death will decrease when you are 30. You think so? You think that will happen? Okay. That's, I think that's good news. I don't know. I think it can be useful. I think it can be helpful. I mean, like, when it came across my mind, it was very exhilarating. I mean, it was terrifying, but it was also exhilarating, being like, whoa, okay, wow, I need to get my ass into shape. 10, totally not 110. Oh, it was gonna be 110, wouldn't it? Dang it. Some people says it gets way worse as they get older. Maybe it just depends on the person. Even Ozzy Osbourne said it. Well, I guess he was talking about his drug days. Oh, is that what he said about thinking about dying a lot less? Yeah. I guess. I don't know much about Ozzy Osbourne, but rest in peace. Okay, I'm gonna mix my tiles now. But Sam thinks about it a few times a month. Okay. Yeah, I don't usually have that, like, you will cease. That, like, huge washover thought. I don't really have it that often, but sometimes I do have it pretty often. The most common time that it arises is, like, right when my head hits the pillow and it's time to sleep. So that's my mind's time of choice to give me that. Right before I'm about to close my eyes, and I'm not sure whether I'll wake up or not. You're never really sure. When you close your eyes at night, when you go to sleep, I mean, anything could happen, really. Anything could happen. What flashlight was that? You went to the... No, I was showing my VIP. So it's Big Bang's 20-year anniversary. Okay, it's 20 years anniversary, and they performed at Coachella last night, and I watched the performance, and I felt so happy. I might even share some of the footage from the performance because, sorry, it snapped out of place. See, the two gems are broken. I've had this forever. But yeah, Big Bang is the reason why I have VIP in my username, so it's very important that I honor them. Hi Tweet, hello, welcome. How's your moving going? You almost done? Hopefully. Yeah, that whole process can be kind of stressful. Anyway, so it was only 3 members of Big Bang because Top, the rapper, let me just pull the picture. Pull the picture right now. So let's review, shall we? This is required. This is required lore knowledge, okay, for this channel. If you don't know about this, then you don't know. Where'd my chat go? Hello? Oh no, my chat. Okay, I'm gonna move this back over here. Problem is, if I move it to my other monitor, I can't actually see the chat. I can see it, but I have to like look behind my 2 cameras. It just went to the top of my overlay again. Oh frick. Okay. Careful now. Move it. It like will automatically snap into place when nobody asked her to do that. Nobody asked you to do that, girl. You just did it again. I'm being tested today. I'm being tested. What is that saying? God saves his hardest battles for his strongest warriors. That's oh, I just did it again. Okay, if I bring it too close to the top of the screen, it will automatically fill that spot. Okay. If I bring it even 1 millimeter too high, it will snap into place. Okay. Anyway, moved on Friday, just unpacking now. Oh, okay, so you're unpacking. That process, I think, is a bit easier. It can still be pretty overwhelming, though, to be amongst all the stuff. There's no time that you remember more. Here's another thing we forget. Okay, so today's topic is forgetting. There's no time that we remember how much stuff more than when we move. We realize how we forgot that we've accumulated so much stuff. Okay, so this is Big Bang. So there's currently only 3 members. Okay, which one's my favorite, guys? Pop quiz. You better answer correctly. If not, you're banned, okay? If not, you're banned. You have to answer. You must answer. Is it... Should I give you a hint? Okay, I'll give you a hint. So this is Sungri, this is Top, this is G-Dragon, this is Taeyang, and this is Daesung. Mr. Bang. Wrong answer. You're banned. Okay, fine. It's Top. Top is my favorite. Look at him. Just... well, and he's the tallest member too. Obviously, I had to envision myself with someone who was close enough to my height. Top, not bottom. Oh, he's a top. Don't you worry. So he's 5'10", I think, or 5'11". I don't know. We'd probably be the same height, and I'm okay with that. But I would be taller than everyone else, especially G-Dragon and Taeyang. And that would bother me. No, but I love Top. He's my fave. But he just released a new, I have to yap about this. This is required. He released a new album. He's not in Big Bang anymore. The tragedy. Because honestly, the K-pop industry fucked him over. Like, all he did, he smoked marijuana one time. Well, probably more than once, but you know. he just happened to smoke marijuana, which is like the biggest deal in Korea. Like the Koreans take that really, really serious. They take it so seriously that even if you smoke marijuana in a place where it's legal in the United States, you will still be prosecuted for that in Korea. How does a nation have control over their citizens like that, so that even if they're not in the borders of the nation, they're still being held accountable to them? No, you can't own a person like that. Hello? Anyway, crazy. Absolute audacity. The K-pop industry is crazy. I know. Seriously. It's a huge problem because like a lot of people in the K-pop industry unfortunately have taken their own lives. And Top was very close to doing that. I mean, like he literally made an attempt and was hospitalized. I think he took sleeping pills or something. But yeah, he tried to end his own life because he had a huge scandal. Again, all he did was smoke marijuana. That's all he did. Bro, that's all he did. He smoked marijuana and the media just absolutely went crazy. They're like, this guy is a degenerate and like he sucks. I don't remember what the article said, but like they tore him a new one. They tore him a new asshole. Like they just fucking went to town. And he like basically lived as a recluse. He never left his apartment, because people would just be following him, the media, like the paparazzi and whatever, and they'd just be, saying how trash he was because he abused drugs or whatever. Again, all he did was cannabis. So anyway, he released a new album. And the album is actually really fire. I like the new album. I mean, I don't typically actually like his music, which is very funny to say. It's very funny to say that he's my favorite member of Big Bang, but his music is not really my style. But I don't know. I'm drawn to him by his eccentricity. He's an artist. He's very unique, and he just kind of does what he wants to do. So in the beginning, the first song is beautiful. Self-Crucifixion. So he's a rapper. So he does kind of more aggressive rap. There's more like electronic elements. There's like auto-tune, which is the part that I hate. I don't like auto-tune. It sounds terrible. But the first song in the album is so good. And you know why? Because what he does after he does the verse, he raps the verse, is he puts in the media response, like audio clips of the media response to his controversy. He just puts that shit in there, like to the background beat. And it's basically like a big fuck you to the Korean media. And it's so good. It just made me smile so much. Like, it almost made me cry tears of joy. Because, like, he talks about in his album how he was persecuted and how he was, like, how he also felt guilty for what he did as a role model, for, he feels a ton of guilt and for his mistakes that he made, and how he wants to try and prove that he can make his way as a solo artist, and but he also did a little fuck you to the media, which I love. I love that. I don't know how we got the rights to that audio, but tattoos. Oh no, literally. I think tattoos are also, well, I know at least like a decade ago, tattoo shops they were illegal. Like people could have tattoos kind of, but you couldn't like go to public. I mean, and this is the same way in Japan as well. There's many public like onsens or bathhouses where it's just not allowed for you to have a tattoo on your body. So if you have a tattoo, you're not allowed to be let in. or you have to like cover it up. And even on like TV, often you have to cover up your tattoos. I think that the Korean society has grown more open to tattoos, especially as openness to K-pop has grown around the world. I mean, I know that like Jungkook of BTS has a ton of tattoos, and he seems to have no problems. But definitely in the past, like back when Big Bang was at their peak, like there was a ton of issues with marijuana tattoos. Isn't it because tattoos were associated with gangs for a long time? That would make sense, especially in Japan, with the Yakuza. I don't know how it's pronounced. Don't come for me in my pronunciation. But, perhaps. Anyway, so his music, I would highly recommend his music video. I probably can't play any of it. I'm gonna play just like 1 second of it. It's fine. I'm just gonna play a little. You know what? No, I got copyrighted for the image of the music video in one of my previous streams. These K-pop guys will come for you. This is why I never play Big Bang songs on my stream. Like the K-pop industry. Well, this is not K-pop, but the Korean music industry does not mess around when it comes to copyright. Let me see if I can find like an image from it. No, there's no images. Whatever, it's fine. Anyways, so Big Bang did their performance, and the 3 members of Big Bang are G-Dragon, Daesung, and Taeyang, and they performed at Coachella. Because Seungri, I believe, is in jail, right? He ran a prostitution ring at like a nightclub of his that he owned. It's not like he ran it. He just like, I think he was aware that the prostitution ring was occurring and did absolutely nothing to stop it, and like perhaps participated in it, which is a huge problem. So, yeah, he's not in my Big Bang anymore. Well, you're part of the. Yeah, that's true. Well, I would encourage anybody who likes to yap to, get a Twitch stream. You can yap without abandon, no problem. I'm under no obligation to cease my yapping at any time, which is pretty enjoyable. Okay, I'm done yapping. We're gonna play Mahjong now. It's gonna be fun. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna play Mahjong, but yeah, it gave me a lot of joy when I heard him rap. And he also rapped about the scandal with Seungri. I mean, that's not confirmed, but in the lyrics of his song Studio 54, he kept mentioning Dirty Sun, which the scandal was called Burning Sun. So the connection is obvious. The connection is obvious in what he was referring to. Saying that it destroyed his soul. It's like, okay, yeah. Yup. The thing is, like, I don't know, there's so many people out there who have that much, so a trap that people as open-minded as me often fall into is like, well, they have so much money and privilege and they don't even know what it's like to live a regular life anymore. So therefore, sometimes people in that position don't know right from wrong. But then I have to catch myself and be like, whoa, okay, there's plenty of people out there who have that much money and privilege and don't abuse it like that. And so therefore, no excuse can be made for that type of behavior. Ignorant or not. Ignorance involved or not involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one more layer. Reflex said, as I said before, Marissa would fall in love with Miyavi. Oh yeah, I saw a picture of that person. Actually, when that person was super popular, I saw a picture and I was a bit like, ooh. I was like, ugh. But I can see how you would think that. I appreciate this style as kind of an eccentric, although that's not really my type, as much as it may surprise you. Not really my type. You know who is my type? Oh my god. Shannon Blake. I posted her picture on my Discord in my spicy section. Wow. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. I have a cut on my finger. Here's another thing we forget. We forget how fragile we are. And so when we cut our finger really deeply, it's healed a lot more now. I don't have to wear a Band-Aid anymore. But we forget how good we have it when we're able to just touch things without pain. So sometimes we have to be reminded of things. So we forget that we will die. We forget that we are fragile. We forget that, what else do we forget? Hi Galti, how's it going? Welcome back. I'm doing well. How are you doing? How you doing? I hope your weekend was good. Yeah. You guys, I spent all morning this morning watching videos of which yoga poses I could do when I'm pregnant and which ones I have to avoid. It's happening. I'm starting to mentally prepare. It's kind of crazy. I think that close to the end of this year, I could be pregnant. So I learned that I'm not allowed to do any sort of twisting poses, and I'm not allowed to do any sort of poses on my stomach or any poses where I'm crunching or using my abs. So that's good to know. Do your research. So I'm doing my research. I think I need 4 more. Yeah. 4 on top. There's so many things you can't do though. Like I can't eat sushi, I can't eat lunch meat, I can't eat cheese. Like, what? I can't eat cheese? That's like most of my diet. Galti says, was working most of the weekend, but it was alright. Challenging day at work today, and the kids have been a pain this evening. Soon time for tea and to relax. I hope you get the relaxation that you deserve. I'm sorry you had a difficult day at work. Oh. Do you have a game lined up that you're going to play? It was fun watching you play Fallout the other day. I've never seen gameplay of Fallout, so I was like, this is fun. It's fun to hang out. Surprise, you have a chance to become the Godfather. It's an offer I can't refuse. If I said it's only 100,000 points to redeem a ticket for the Godfather. Oh boy. Don't you have to be Catholic for that? Is it Catholic? I think it is. Unfortunately I'm not Catholic, so maybe honorary Godfather title. Okay. Let's go. So I was talking with my husband about history, and the history of human civilizations, and how a big part of the cycle of history is forgetting. And like I have a medium knowledge of history. When it comes to Americans, okay, I'd say my knowledge is pretty good. But that's not saying much. So I was thinking, I was like, well, I wonder if the reason why all of our institutions are currently crumbling is because we haven't lived through a time, we've forgotten about the reason why we created them in the first place, because the generations that created those institutions have already passed away. So people understood the importance of international organizations for maintaining peace right after World War II, because that's when they were creating, and people had experienced the god-awful realities of war, and were like, let's never do this again. Well, time has passed. Quite a lot of time has passed since that. And nobody really knows what it's like to be, well, not nobody. The West, especially the United States, does not know what it's like to live during world time conditions. We've all forgotten. And therefore, I think that's why we don't value a lot of the institutions we currently have. And nobody knows their role either. Nobody wants to serve their role. Nobody, I understand, like, for especially the working class, why they wouldn't want to uphold their role, because they kind of had the short end of the stick. I mean, nobody understands their role. Like, even in the top, nobody understands their role. So, anyway, that's what I was talking about with my husband yesterday. And so we wondered if it was necessary for humanity and for civilizations to go through these cycles, especially like in Chinese history. You can see this happen where empires would rise and fall. Empires would be built and then, fall to ruin and chaos. I think China has they have tried to strike a balance between looking back and remembering history, but also trying to allow for more, a little bit more decentralization. Mostly in terms of like science. In terms of like letting the population have access to information online, that's a bit more centralized. But Catholic atheists. Oh boy, that's a bit sacrilegious, isn't it? You're in luck. Galty Games and I are. Oh, I didn't know that. That's new insight I learned. So, anyway, long story short, I think China is the future. China is just doing everything better than us. And that's it. Why? Because they fucking remember history. Baptized and all, even the confirmation. Do they get... I didn't realize they get confirmed as well. I thought that was just a Mormon thing. I know that Mormons, they get baptized and then they get... the confirmation is when you receive the Holy Ghost. So a bunch of men circle around the 8-year-old and place their hand, all of them place their one hand on the 8-year-old's head. It gets quite heavy, actually. You're like, whoa, okay. And they stand in a circle and hold the other hand around, and they form a circle, and then one person says a prayer. And after the prayer is when the 8-year-old has received the Holy Ghost. Tweet says, don't they not like the Tiananmen Square incident? No. Well, I mean, so if you, my understanding is that, like, you will be unable to access information about the Tiananmen Square incident if you ask, even if you ask AI, Chinese AI, about, like, what happened on, what day did it happen? Yeah, that's the one that's most frequently cited. So if you ask, what's the Chinese AI name? If you ask DeepSeek, what happened on April 4th, 1976? I don't know. I don't know what it'll tell you. But my understanding is that the information given is limited. And it's limited in, I think, in an attempt to try and stop something like that from happening again. Similarly, the information about how many people died during the Great Leap Forward from Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong was the chairman of the Communist Party in China, and he had these policies that he called the Great Leap Forward, where he literally, like, told people they should build, like, basically a metal, what are they called? It's not a kiln, but, like, something to smelt metal. Everybody go build it in your backyard and, like, throw all the metal in your house. I need you to take all the metal in your house and throw it in there and try and make steel. Okay, like, the kilns or whatever did not get hot enough to do that. So basically everybody ruined their metal. They didn't spend enough time on farming. So a lot of famine occurred that way. Another way that famine occurred was that there was a competition system between the different communes. So a lot of people lived in communes because it was easier to have that level of organization at the community level, especially, like, with the way the government worked. But the government had, like, an incentive system, I believe, in which whoever grew the most crops would receive a certain reward. And that incentive system basically fucked a lot of people over because people decided to lie a little bit on their how much they produce. They tend to overstate how much they produced, how much grain they produced. And therefore, the information they all sent to Beijing, Beijing had the false numbers for how much grain was being produced around China. And basically it was an administrative error that caused widespread famine and millions of people to die. There was also, like, natural disasters, but, like, I don't know, there was a lot of shit that happened. But, like, you can't find an exact number for how many people died, and especially not in a lot of the records pertaining to that were destroyed, kind of to protect the integrity of the Chinese government, you know, to not suggest some of these more, like, just huge errors occurred on their part. And I think that the overall issue is a lot more nuanced than the West gives it credit for. Like, I mean, now there's obviously issues with Xinjiang and, like, the persecution of the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. But I don't know. I just think humans have this fundamental, maybe you guys agree, but I feel like humans have this fundamental problem where we just constantly forget. We just forget what happened. We forget what, and we're greedy as well. And so once we have this level of, a certain level of prosperity, we reach and try and reach for more. Instead of being content with what we have, we reach out and we're like, let's see if we can do even more. And the problem with like super egotistical leaders such as Mao Zedong is that you might be really successful in the beginning. I mean, he was definitely very successful as a general. He was a general before he was the chairman, and he was really good at that. He's really good at swaying people's opinion, really good at getting people to change their mind about things, getting people to rally, and who wouldn't that feed their ego for? Like who, if you could do that, if you could like say with your words, you could tell people to do anything and they'll just do it. That's a lot of, that's like an unfathomable amount of power. And I think it would make anybody, abuse it. And so that's what he did, is he ended up abusing it. And that's what we saw in the Cultural Revolution, is that he overextended. He was like, well, I've done so much for this country or this nation already. And he was starting to lose a bit of his power. And you know what people do when they start to lose a bit of their power is they cling on to it even more. And so like it's fucking insanity is what happened. So it's we were also thinking about, so my husband and I were also thinking about the concept of brainwashing and how easy it is to be brainwashed. And I think an interesting question we can ask ourselves is, how easy is it to get are you capable of being brainwashed? Or like, what would it take to brainwash you? A tweet says, I think most governments lie, in my opinion. They shouldn't, but they do. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. I think there's an element of like, an element of distrust. I mean, that's definitely what strikes me as why China would want to prevent the populace from accessing information about Tiananmen Square, or these other incidents, is because there is kind of a general distrust of, well, people might make okay, this is going to sound really, I have to be really careful with how I word this. Sometimes the general populace can act in really stupid ways. I don't know, I mean, like, in terms of the Cultural Revolution. And so, I'm not saying that's, like, a sufficient reason to censor information. There's never a sufficient reason to do that. But I think that's the reason why they do that. Hi, DCI, how's it going? Propaganda is so interesting. It's so interesting, isn't it? I think everybody's capable of being brainwashed. And therefore, I think it can be interesting to like study past occurrences of brainwashing and current occurrences, to try and like ask yourself, am I currently being swayed in any particular way? Shill. What do you mean by shill, DCI? I'm so curious. Am I learning a new word today? Refly said brainwashing through Twitch chat surely wouldn't be possible, right? It can be surprising the ways in which it can happen. DCI said, had to stop eating to call. Oh, it is a word. Wait, I need to look up. What does this mean? An accomplice of a... What? DCI, you can't be serious. You're joking, right? I think you missed the whole conversation. Well, so like the whole conversation was basically just like saying, the situation in China is very nuanced, and it would take like a really long time to explain everything in certain ways. And often the West tends to take things and just run with them without having the full story. I mean, we all do that to some extent. It's just a fundamental problem of like organizing ourselves in these different groups. Like we have us and we have them. We have the United States and we have China, and we don't interact on a like an everyday basis. And so the information we have is limited, and therefore with the tiny bits of information we have, which the full context is not provided, we just decide to make stories that either validate our beliefs or invalidate our beliefs. But usually they validate our beliefs, and it just like keeps building into a bigger and bigger story. Well, that was not my intention. My intention was not to give a pass to the actions of the Chinese government. I don't think information should be limited. I don't think that fundamentally. I think access to knowledge is one of the most important things we have. But in terms of brainwashing, so my husband and I watched the new documentary on Netflix about the FLDS, the one that's called A False Prophet. That was really interesting. I don't know if you guys are planning on watching that, but I found it absolutely fascinating. And that's another case where I know that brainwashing is a very loaded term, but what I liked about the documentary was that it showcased the strength of the women. And here's what I'm really worried about. When I look at documentaries that, especially when it comes to FLDS and like Christian, and especially like where women are in vulnerable positions, I'm always like worried that the narrative that will be presented is, look at these poor women. They're just so stupid. They have no critical thinking skills. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to watch that because it's just not true. But this documentary, I feel like, did the women justice. And like, yeah, obviously they were victims of this false prophet, and they were exploited, and they were, raised in a culture that just exploited them. But they also had so much strength and intelligence and intuition, and like they knew a lot of what was going on. Yeah, I don't know. It's just amazing to see the strength of women. And so I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, tweet, let me know if you end up watching it. Yeah. We ended up watching it an entire afternoon. I will say this. Propaganda occurs on both sides of the US and China issue. I don't know. So I would invite people to ask themselves if they are being subject to propaganda from their country about China. Because that's almost certainly happening. I mean, I'm not immune. I'm not immune to propaganda at all, by any means. I get swayed by it all the time. DCI said, you want to know something really weird? I've had the same meal Monday to Friday for 8 weeks now because something to think about choosing something different. Well, what meal is it? Is it the oatmeal? Oh, can't be asked. I've never seen that acronym before. That's a good one. I mean, decision fatigue is real, and like, if it works, it works. My husband's kind of the same way. He can eat the same food over and over and over and over and over. I can't really do that. Well, I'm not so bad as like I can't have a meal 2 times in a row. I'll have the same lunch sometimes from Monday to Friday. But then like the next week I have to have something different. My limit is like 1 week of something. So that's impressive. You were able to make it for 8 weeks with the same thing. Marinated chicken and a spicy tomato and nuja sauce and roasted potatoes. That sounds good. I've had porridge every morning for like a year now, I think. 40 grams of oats and 300 milliliters of... Exactly. Do you really put exactly 300 milliliters of milk in there? You measure it out? That's what I always found was interesting about Europeans, is that you got a scale for everything and you just measure shit out on a scale. When I watch the Great British Baking Show, it's so funny to see people. I'm sure people do it too, but just like put things on a scale and just like they're looking at the scale and it's very precise. It's like doing chemistry. I've had the same ingredients in my shake. Oh yeah, you were telling me about your shake. Well, I mean, it already seems like you have a good diversity of foods in there, so if it works, it works. That way we always have the exact result. Yeah, that's true, Refly. That's true. If you want to have your cookie or your bread turn out... I mean, there's a reason why there's the Great British Baking Show. British people, they be really good at baking. And probably for that reason. It's because they're really good at measuring. Well, yeah, I know that, DCI. Like, I measure stuff with the cups and the measuring spoons and whatever, but it's more of a like... It's not like a scale. Like you gotta give everything to the 10th of a gram or whatever. The way I measure it is I just like I level off the spoon. Silly Europeans. Imagine using a scientific way to measure things. I know, I'm just giving you guys shit because I feel self-conscious about my own practices. That's how it always is. When I feel self-conscious about my own culture, I make fun of other people's culture. It's classic American. Classic American tactics. Well, anyway, my husband recommended that I read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. I don't I mean, I definitely understand the value of reading something like that. I don't know how much detail I need to go into with my reading. DCI said, my wife eyeing ingredients to make cookies and then being upset they didn't come out how she wanted used to rage bait me. That sounds familiar. Refly says, speaking of measurements, I drank 1.5 liters of non-carbonated iced tea and now I have to use the restroom. That's not surprising to me. Carbonated iced tea. Does your iced tea have like different flavors? Or is it just like tea flavor? Because I could never get behind, that's crazy. Where's that so I can avoid the place? If it's like, okay, if it has lemon flavor or fruit flavor or something, I could get behind iced tea. But if it's just tea flavor, bruh, I don't know. Carbonation can hide a lot of sins though, I feel like. If you have something underlying that's doesn't taste that great, but there's some carbonation, I feel like, you know, even with like sparkling water, right? There's no flavor. Then you add carbonation and it makes it a little spicy. A lemon and green tea and peach flavor. Okay, I would go for like a lemon or a peach flavor. Just straight up green tea flavor. I don't know. I never understood the tea plus sugar flavor. I don't understand. Excuse me, the one, oh yes, please go piss, girl. Wait, do I still have that meme? I mean, that emoji. I had an emoji from somebody's channel that says go piss, girl. So iconic. It might have gone away. Dang it. I need to come up with an emoji for that. Wait, there we go. Here's this one. You can have that one. Anyways, I do want to say that my knowledge of world affairs is pretty limited. But I'm trying to accumulate more and more knowledge. If I do end up reading The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, I understand its importance. I just don't know if I need to. It's kind of like watching Schindler's List. It's like, do I really need to see it played out in front of me? This is why I don't like watching war movies. I don't need to watch a war movie to understand that war is bad. But maybe people have different perspectives. I understand people's perspective of like, it's important to remember how the atrocities that occur. I did read Man's Search for Meaning, and that one did go into some pretty intense details of what occurred on a concentration camp. I believe it was actually Auschwitz, if I remember. Let me get my book. Can I keep it over here? It's somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Oh shit, I just spilled all my books. Whatever. I actually didn't finish this book. I need to finish it. I think you have to be in a certain mood. Well, a certain mind space to be able to read it in its entirety and gather what it's trying to tell you. Yeah, some pretty rough stuff happens. But it's crazy how easily we forget. I mean, I think I've forgotten most of the details. Probably because my brain is trying to protect me from the trauma. I got my steelbook of The Housemaid today. Such a good film. Oh, I haven't... What's that about? The Housemaid. Sydney Sweeney. A young woman becomes a live-in maid for a wealthy couple who harbor sinister secrets. Well, I can definitely see the appeal. The last Sydney Sweeney movie I watched was Eden. I liked that one. I thought that one was good. With Sydney Sweeney and Jude Law. It's a cool... So Housemaid is a cool film. Really? Okay. The pictures don't reveal much about the content of the film, but perhaps I should check it out. I've got a lot of movies on my list. I've got this one that I bookmarked. Only Lovers Left Alive. I need to watch. I think, oh yeah, Aristotle recommended this one to me. Oh yeah, this is like at the top of my list. I will be watching this next. Oh, but it's on Prime. Means I gotta buy it. Okay, that's fine. I want to watch it. Okay, and then The Housemaid. Yeah, nice. I watched, last night I watched a Nicole Kidman film. What's it called? I literally forgot. I forgot the name. That shows you how I'm consuming media these days. Is I'm forgetting just the name of everything. It was about she had amnesia, so every time she woke up, she would have amnesia about like she wouldn't remember who she was or anything. She would revert back to when she was in her 20s, even though the woman's in her 40s. And it's like a psychological thriller. So she's trying to get back her before I go to sleep. Thank you, DCI. She's trying to get her memories back. And there's certain men around her that are very suspicious, and you don't know who to trust because you also don't have any context as to who is who. So it was entertaining. Will it completely leave my mind in the next 2 days? Probably. But sometimes you will just watch movies to be entertaining. You don't watch them so they'll persist in your mind forever. There are some movies that will. Some gems, but not every movie can be like that. You watched Perfect Blue. That's perfect. By the way, I'm sorry, Refly. I have not watched The Meaning of Life. Not yet. That is on my list as well. I will definitely let you know when I watch it. Member of a Japanese idol group who retires from music to pursue an acting career. Becomes a victim of stalking by her obsessive fan. Ooh. Oh no. Look at the Reddit. Oh no. Okay, well I won't use that to spoil my... Black Swan stole a bunch of stuff from it. Oh, no way. I actually really liked Black Swan. So maybe I should watch the OG movie. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed Black Swan. And then the Before I Go to Sleep, that one I feel like is just 50 First Dates, but worse. Well, no. It's comparable. No, I liked Before I Go to Sleep more. I just fundamentally don't like Adam Sandler movies. Adam Sandler as a person is cool, but his like comedy movies are just not my comedy. Black Swan writer had to buy the rights to Perfect Blue to use a few scenes. Wow, interesting. Okay, maybe I should watch. Yeah, Black Swan is definitely a very surreal film. Okay, I'm feeling the tension in my jaw. I looked up those jaw exercises or jaw massages, and somebody recommended to move your jaw from side to side, like this, to like loosen it up. And you can also like massage the inside part like this. Oh, it's actually, ooh, yeah, okay. This is where it's coming from, the right side. But I heard that the tension is actually coming from the opposite side of where you need to massage. Again, I'm not a physical therapist, but that's what I found in my research. Yeah, it's really tense right here. Use the jaw mechanism showcased in the Saw movies. Do I even want to know? I'm scared. I never watched the Saw movies because I don't like gore and intense violence. I'm scared. Are you looks maxing? Am I what is it called? Mewing? Where you like put your tongue on the top of your... I didn't know what that was until I started looking up the jaw massages. No, I have chronic jaw pain, that's why. I'm not looks maxing. My jaw hurts because I clench it because I have anxiety. Why is everybody maxing all the time and not stress relieving instead? I know, Refly, that's exactly... We need to be relieving our stress. Get to the source. But yeah, so I hold... Do you guys have like a part of your body you hold all your tension in? For me, it's my jaw. For me, that's where I hold all my tension, is in my jaw. I have to wear a night guard at night, like a mouth guard, because I grind my teeth. And if I don't wear the night guard, I'll literally grind my teeth down to stubs. So, yeah. Any part in your body. It's up to you what you want to reveal. focus on your body instead. Or if you feel like you're too... how would one be too in their body? I haven't had the reverse happen. I haven't had... The thing is, I haven't had the reverse happen. So, like... But I just know, like, when I'm thinking too much, when I spend the time in my body and away from my mind, that is when I think a lot less. Well, I'm thinking about them in terms of, like, well, not like fully using one or fully using the other. I'm just saying, like, I think we use our mind far too much. Our brain far too much. I mean, in Michael Pollan's book, I think that he put it really well, where he said that the brain is designed to be the support system for the body. It's just designed to be the support system. It's not designed to be like, it's, I guess in that case, it's not its own independent thing. Okay, I take back what I said. We like to think that the mind is separate from the body. Okay, what am I fundamentally trying to say? I'm trying to say that when you think too much, try and exercise and see what it does. That's what I'm saying. Wow, revolutionary. Nobody's ever thought of that before. No, it's just like the other day I was thinking a lot and my brain was hurting and I was like, okay, this kind of sucks. But then I looked at my toes and I was like, wait a minute, can I move my pinky toe independently of my other toes? And I spent a long time just doing that. And I was not in my brain. Obviously I was still in my brain, but I was not in my brain. I was focusing on the movement, which is different, a different characteristic of my brain. Anyway, can you move your toes independently? Can you move your pinky? If you hold your toes up, I'm not going to hold them up to the camera because I know you're not supposed to do that. But see if you can move your pinky like this. See how difficult it is. I thought that was fascinating. I was like, wait, why am I giving so much value and attention to this when, like, I haven't even mastered these other things in my body. I barely even know how to move my tiny little toe. If I can't do that, then why am I so concerned about this thing right here? I don't know. Like, some people just don't even have any mastery over any of their body. And it's like, you were given a body, this beautiful experience thing to be experienced, and you're choosing not to experience it. You're choosing not to see it to its full potential. Am I stuck? Am I stuck? I might be stuck. I might be stuck. I might be stuck. Sam says, this beautiful thin-skinned body that inflicts massive amounts of pain on itself. Yeah, a lot of suffering is completely unnecessary. You're telling me you haven't mastered the arts of the farts yet? I have. Actually, Refly, I feel like I have. But yeah, that's true. Some people haven't mastered sphincter control. My sphincter control... Sorry, my husband's on call right now, so I have to be careful. My control of that is very good. Not to brag or anything. It requires aptitude. It requires deep knowledge of all the muscles at play to be able to have a silent fart in public spaces. Prove it. I have proven it. Refly, have you ever heard me fart on stream? No? There's your proof. There's your proof right there. My microphone's really good. It'll pick up on all sorts of stuff. Okay? It's never picked up on that. And that's for a reason. Hi QB, welcome back. How's it going? Nice to see you. We're talking about farting. No, we're talking about mastering our bodies. That's what we're talking about. The broader philosophical concept of mastering every muscle in your body. We just happen to be on the topic of talking about sphincter control. Oh, there's 2 7s right here. Look at that. You guys, you should check out QB's channel. QB is always so good at shouting people out. And it's very inspiring to me. I really enjoy watching him play Yakuza. I'm not sure if you're still playing that. But, oh, and GTA, the new GTA game. I believe. And I like how you always have cats on your overlay. That's what always draws me in. I'm like, I love seeing the dancing cats. Okay, let me make sure I spell it correctly. Yeah, QB's awesome. One of the OGs on this channel, by the way. One of the OGs. OG supporters. Sphincter control sounds like a name for a stealth move. It is. I mean, when you really think about it. Okay, 5, 5, 7, 3. Are there any 3s? No. 8. No, that's a 9. 5, 2, 6. Okay, we're gonna use our freebie right now. Okay, you ready for our freebie? Our freebie is gonna be... Should we trust this 4? No. Well... Okay, the freebie is gonna be this. The freebie is gonna be like these 2. Okay? Alright, so we used our freebie. And now, that means this 4 is available. And you know what? I think we're fucked. Oh. Yep. Game over. I didn't choose correctly. We lost. Okay, that's fine. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. QB says, interesting. I'm gonna go for the question today. Oh, thank you. Yes. Yes, we were talking about the question of the day earlier, so I'd love to return to the concept. I used to have the intrusive thoughts about exactly this every single night. Real. I hate it when it's like your head hits the pillow and you're like, really? Of all times? Like, it got to the point where I wasn't sleeping. It took me like 3 years to shake it off, but now I am at peace with the idea, especially as it is inevitable and nobody is exempt. I'm glad you were able to overcome it. 3 years. Wow. I'm sorry that it happened so chronically for you. For me, I'm lucky that it happens periodically. And when it happens periodically, like, it happened to me today, for example, as I was driving home from the grocery store, and I had this exhilarating wave of like, you will cease to exist. So you better get your ass into shape. And it was like, whoa, you know, like all the zoning out I was doing previously was like, my senses were heightened. I was wired. I was like, I'm here. Okay, I'm here right now. I'm here. That's usually what it does for me. And I think that's the way I've been able to frame it, is being like, okay, I'm here right now. And then I ask myself, okay, am I dying right now? No? Okay, then I don't need to panic. But I need to live right now. As if it's the only moment that exists, because it is. But like, I can see how the feeling that when it comes in, how it could be detrimental to somebody, like how it could be just, you could dwell in that for a long time. I mean, usually when it hits me at night is when I dwell in it for a long time, then I'm unable to sleep. So I do definitely understand that feeling. The nighttime spiraling. Still playing Yakuza, and the GTI I'm playing is the 4th one. Oh, sorry, wait, so the 6th one has not come out yet. You know, I was having fun. It was very buggy, even with mods for stability. So I might have to stop playing that one until I can dig up my PS3 copy. You were streaming from Steam copy, which is buggy. Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the GTA. It looked fun, though. I remember the first exposure I ever had to GTA was when I was living in Brazil. I mean, so as a kid, I was not allowed to play that game at all. But the neighbors had that game, and so I'd watch them play it, and I just, my Mormon, my little 15-year-old Mormon self was just watching the absolute, like, debauchery and crime and just rampant, just, I couldn't comprehend it. I was like, I feel like I'm sinning right now. Like, just even watching somebody play it, I felt the guilt come in very strongly. I was like, I feel like I'm sinning right now. I feel like I shouldn't be here. But now watching it, all that guilt has disappeared, and I think it's kind of fun to watch. It's fun to watch people just be absolute. I can't think of a word. The 4th one is considered by many to be the best one. Oh, I see. Maybe it was the 4th one that I won. I'm not sure. It was back in 2012 that I lived in Brazil. So whichever game was popular during 2012, that was the GTA I had watched. Briefly. Yeah, the neighbor kids, they were sinners. They did everything we weren't allowed to do. Like, they did and I don't mean sinners, I really don't. But I mean, like, in the eyes of my Mormon parents and my Mormon self, they would play GTA 4. They would watch The Simpsons. Okay. And those two things, my brain would like explode. I would like shelter my siblings and be like, no, sorry, we can't watch this. And the Brazilians would just be like, why? They just didn't understand. They're like, what do you mean you can't watch this? This is entertainment. This is... They were free from the Christian guilt. I remember too, at one point we were outside and we had chalk. We were like drawing with chalk, and it was at a time where like I didn't know Portuguese that well, and the fellow kids didn't know any English, and so we just had very limited communication. So it was kind of fun to play games like we play soccer. I mean, you don't need to know English. I mean, you don't need to do Portuguese to play soccer. And we would so we were drawing with chalk, and like the neighbor kids, one of them started drawing like a penis on the road. And I just remember like feeling so embarrassed and being like averting my eyes and like averting my siblings' eyes, being like, oh no, oh no. And we would be like, no, don't draw that. I remember I was very there's certain types of Mormons, and I was the type of Mormon to be like, if anybody else was sinning, you know, I'd be like, no, don't do that, guys, you know. I would make sure I was watching everybody else and what they were doing and ensuring that everybody was living righteously. Refly said, I was playing GTA 5 when it was released in my cousin's home, and my aunt came in to say hello. One of my cousins went, my name is... Oh, your name. Just hired a prostitute for her services and killed her to get his money back. Her response, have fun, guys. That is honestly so surprising to me. That parents can be that lax about that kind of thing. Oh my gosh. My parents and my extended family, they'll like have a really physical cringe response to even seeing a woman in a bikini, in like even like a pool scene, like a casual pool scene. If there's a woman in a bikini, they will be uncomfortable with that. And so I can't even imagine the concept of seeing even just a prostitute, like, woo. Yeah. I think it's common for ex-Mormons, I think I mentioned this earlier, but it's common for ex-Mormons to swing the pendulum really far to one side, like go from being extremely disciplined and extremely like, you know, you must follow the path, to being super open-minded and super lax about everything. But I think you have to reach an important balance between those two things. You need to be strict about some things. I don't know if I would let my kids play GTA. And I've been wondering too, I'm like, would I let my kids swear? Would I swear around my kids? Would I let them listen to music with swearing? And there's a very fine balance between like being friends with their kids. I mean, you know, like you don't want to be your kid's friend. You want to have the parent role. You want to, otherwise you can't establish any sort of discipline. You'd let your kids swear, Sam, but you wouldn't let them watch The Simpsons. Well, I think in terms of the Brazilians, like, there was obviously a cultural barrier. Well, I mean, the language barrier only goes so far. But I think the language barrier was a bit of a reason why the parents let their kids watch that show. The Simpsons were a good form of education in life. Do you think so, Refly? So were you allowed to watch it? Sam was saying fuck and what? How did your teachers respond to that? QB said, I just looked over the GitHub. It's the same mod pack I have installed. Oh, yeah, Refly can help you troubleshoot that probably. He's very knowledgeable about computers. I can understand the entertainment value of The Simpsons. I mean, I watch clips from The Simpsons all the time. I don't think there's anything wrong with like entertainment just being entertaining. Like entertainment that doesn't always have to have like the moral of the story. There could be mindless entertainment, and you don't have to feel ashamed for enjoying that. I enjoy all sorts of mindless entertainment. Because, like, life is hard. And like I said, like, we value this thing way too much. And sometimes we just want to turn it off for a while. Sometimes we just want to turn it off after a really long day. And just be distracted. I forgot how this goes. I think it goes 3. That's not right. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay, I think it's like this. It's like this. Yeah, it's like this. There we go. I think they just learned to not give me any attention for it. Oh, that's a really good reinforcement. Well, not reinforcement. Negative reinforcement method. You mean sleep? Okay, yeah. But sometimes sleep can be hard. Yeah, I guess we do have a natural mechanism to just turn our brains off for a few hours every night. They really thought of everything. Whoever created us, they really thought of everything. Sam says there's some great stuff in The Simpsons. I just don't think it's got the messaging I want my children under 12 or maybe 13 to see. Yeah, I like. Again, I don't really know that much about the stories presented in that show, but I think there does have to be a limit on what you allow your child to consume. Like, there's just certain things they're not ready for at certain stages of their life. Certain concepts they're just not ready to grasp. You don't want to tell them that, because then they'll be like, what? Okay, there's nothing worse you can say to a teenager than, your brain's still developing. You're not allowed to do that yet. That is going to make them want to do it 10 million times more. Don't tell them that. But not that I'll ever have children. Yeah, I think you've mentioned, Sam, that you don't plan to. I'm just rearranging this. Yeah. QB says, since y'all were talking about farting, thank you. I would love to return to that conversation. One time I was leaving the community pool. As I was walking to my car, I passed by an older man sitting on a bench, as though he was waiting for this exact moment. As I passed him, he unleashed an impressively long and loud, earth-shattering passage of gas that was difficult to not react to directly. Oh my god. I did my best to maintain a straight face and did not break the rhythm of my walk, but in my head I was like, holy shit, that was an impressive fart. Thank you for taking the time to write that out. That was some good prose right there. Thank you. Very well written. I imagine, like, when you're that age, you just don't care anymore. You don't care how other people perceive you. Oh, fuck, I didn't turn it off.
Got all the time there is, which is now.
Oops. I don't have any memes. I forgot to turn it off. No. Okay, hold on. Let me go in my thing and turn it off right now. I will find some memes for us right now. It's time for memes. Let me look and find the memes. Thank you, QB. Thank you for contributing. Thank you so much. Okay. What kind of memes do we want? Do we want philosophy memes? Let's look for philosophy memes. Is there any? Whoa. r/philosophy memes is having a time right now. I mean, when are they not? But there's just not any good memes right now. Okay, let's look at the surreal memes. My 2 sources of memes. I only have 2. So that's why I have to turn it off sometimes, because, like, if my source runs dry, I don't have any memes. Okay, here's one. Here's a meme. Make sure you go to bed before 6:39. It doesn't specify. It doesn't specify AM or PM, so take with that what you will. He's watching. He's checking. Be careful. Oh, no. Not the holes. Not the holes. That was trypophobia inducing. Okay. Not that one. Speaking of Brazil. Wait, this is like a compilation. What? This is crazy. This is like a compilation of everything we talked about today. So we talked about Brazil. We talked about Portuguese. And we talked about feet. We talked about that. We were wondering, can you move your pinky toe independently of your other toes? And can you even move the second toe independently? See, try it out. Sam asked, have you ever had a bad trip? Yeah, QV, and I showed my foot and everything. No, just kidding, I didn't. I didn't show my foot. I used my hand as a replacement. So you can imagine, this is my foot. Here. You can imagine, this is my foot. I didn't give a live demonstration. I'd have to I would charge for that. I wouldn't just give that to you for free. If there's anything I've learned about... So, Sam, I'll answer that question in a second. If there's anything I've learned from the financial domination section of Twitch, is that you gotta charge for your stuff. That person I rated who was doing the... By the way, thank you guys for... Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say anything. Everybody left when I rated her. The person who was doing the simp circus. I don't blame you. That was probably a huge diversion from my normal content, because I rated this this woman who does financial domination content. She was doing a circus where it's like you spin the wheel and you pay money to spin the wheel, and the wheel lands on the money amount. It's not the money amount you win. It's the money amount you win to pay her. And people will pay for it. People will pay the money. You guys, I'm doing this thing all wrong. You guys, I need to completely change my tactics. Because what the hell? She'll be streaming at like midnight or 11 p.m. And there'll be a person who comes in who's their username title is flip off ATM. And if she just so much as flips off the camera, they'll pay her $5. Sam says you have to want to have that relationship with people. Yeah. I did want to have a bigger conversation about this, perhaps on a different day. It relates a lot, Sam, to the conversation we had in Discord the other day about spectacles and about women, well, not just women, but people changing the way they talk, changing the way they act, changing the way they dress, depending on whether they are becoming a spectacle or not. I think that's a topic for like a whole stream topic that I definitely want to talk about. I want to talk about it now, but I'm going to save it for later. And this streamer with the wheel and everything with the financial domination content, definitely there's a piece in that conversation as well. Because she changes up her method depending on whether she is filming, whether she is streaming regular everyday content with a specific audience, or whether she's filming content where she wants people to pay her for just existing, or for being slightly mean. She'll be like mean. She'll call people a bitch. She'll like flip off the camera. She'll be a huge jerk, and it's all part of the experience. It's very fascinating to watch. Reflex said, I guess Marissa was testing the waters to see if there's a market for financial domination. Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's hard not to be tempted by that. I will say it does require skill. It's not like you can just show up in front of a camera and just do nothing. There is some skill required. You do have to know what to say, know how to act, know how to dress. Well, no, Refly, here's what it wouldn't be with this audience. I would try to accumulate a separate audience. I think what I would do is either I would create a new channel, or I would film during my off hours, if you will. So it'd be at night, obviously. It's all about the timing during the day. Like I would have to, because like the woman who does the content, like she doesn't get the people coming in to pay money until like 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., you know, those hours of the night. It's gotta be that time. And so I would have to like film during my normal during the night. I'd probably have to change completely how I talk to the camera. What I do, it would have to be an act that I put on. I would have to perform. And I guess the question is if I'd be able to do that. Part of me is curious. Part of me is like, do I have the capability? Maybe, if I set my mind to it. I mean, she does have the benefit of being like a 10 out of 10. Like, she is so beautiful. She does wear a lot of makeup, but she's also just very naturally beautiful. And so I know that I do have physical limitations. You know, I'm not, and that helps her a lot. And so I might have limitations that prevent me from being able to rake in the money. You can only alter your appearance so much. And like, I don't know, when I wear makeup, if I were even to try and wear makeup like her, it wouldn't look as good. So, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try one of these days. Might try. All the hand fetishists are over the moon right now. You just gotta find the right people. It's a very interesting, I don't know. I wouldn't feel gross about it, honestly. I might feel a bit gross if I were to do different types of content. That just comes from my upbringing. But like the type of content she's doing, she's not like overly sexualized. It's mostly just like, it's all mental. It's all like mind games. It's almost like she gets to have her cake and eat it too. It's a good deal. She's got a good deal. I hope she's happy. I hope she's happy with the life she has. I think excuse me, I think she is. I mean, if you were born with power, then might as well use it, right? One more meme. Oh yes, I forgot I have my display capture on. I forgot. Sorry. I was playing Mahjong underneath. Okay, let me look. Where's another meme? Well, we've heard of England, but have you heard of Eggland? Well, it looks like Easter came early this year, and today might be your lucky day. Today's your lucky day. Would you like some eggs? Oh wait, somebody put a little tiny N right here. They forgot to write the N. Wow. This would be me if I did graffiti. This would be me if I did graffiti. I would be like, oh shit. There's no do-overs. You can't cross it out. You just have to roll with it. Now that's a happy old man. I know, he looks so delighted to have his eggs. I wonder if he raised them himself. You know, like raised the hens himself. It's the kind of smile that's like, I think it is genuine happiness, and I don't think there's anything, but there's a little something in the back of my brain that's like, ooh, this rubs me the wrong way a bit. Some people's faces are just a bit scary, and that's not their fault. That's not people's fault. Okay, my friends, there's gonna be an ad coming up. I think during the ad, I'm gonna go get some more tea. So I hope you will join me in getting some tea, taking a break, and I'll see you in 3 minutes. And then I'll answer Sam's question if he's still here. Okay, see ya. All right, we're back. Hi, Chozo. What's up, Chozo? Okay, we're back. Oh, the ad break is still happening. I hope you can hear me, Chozo, from beyond the ad void. QB said, reminds me of the guy that got adopted by this person simply because he had a unique face. Times during a 3-hour period. I do it as like a nervous habit. And so I'm going to try and I read online, I was like, that said that I should buy this thing called Bag Balm, which tastes bad but is good for moisturizing. So I might buy that and put it on. But now you have the knowledge. So now you won't be able to unsee it, and that's all you're going to be able to focus on. I might have just, you know what? I cursed everybody. Everybody's cursed now. There's just sometimes you say things, and people weren't considering or thinking about them before. But once you draw attention to it, now it's like. Lip licking fetishists are very upset. They're like, oh man, I found this gold here. This golden opportunity. Damn, I know. Ruining it for you guys. But now I'm consciously trying to stop. So, QB said I've literally never noticed that about you. Well, you're about to. QB, you're about to. There's another streamer I watch that literally does it every 3 seconds and it drives me insane. Oh. Yeah, it's one of those things that once you notice it, you can't stop, and sometimes it just ruins you, right? So I hope it's not. Again, I'm trying to do it less. I'm consciously thinking about it now, so I'm not going to do it probably for a while. But if you watch any of my VODs back, you will see I do it all the time. And my lips are just always dry, like so dry. Because when you lick them, you think you're moisturizing it, but really what you're doing is just drying it out further. Because the enzymes, I think, something like that. So Sam asked me if I've ever had a bad trip, and the answer is, no, I don't think so. My answer is, I'm not really sure what a bad trip is. Maybe I haven't done enough psychedelics to know what a bad trip is. Perhaps, I mean, I've heard from some people that believe that just bad trips, it's all about mindset. And so if you have the right mindset going into it, you're just never going to have one because you're always prepared for whatever happens. I kind of tend to believe that. Like where it's like, you just accept the experience for what it is, whatever it decides to be. And my understanding is that a bad trip is usually caused by people being resistant to what is. Like if you feel tears coming on and you try and stop that from happening, it's going to lead to a lot of tension and a lot of like difficulty. But if you just let yourself cry, then it's so much better. QB said, I think it's the way they do it. Instead of doing the normal licking of lips, they stick their tongue out like a cat and then do the thing with their lips that you do when applying lipstick. It's very noticeable. Oh, okay. Yeah. Ooh. It's like I remember in church, we had something called Fast Sunday, which was when people would come up to the front and like give a speech, and anybody could just come up and give a speech. And you know, there's some people who their mouth was really dry, and that's sometimes what bothers me is when you can hear their mouth, when you can hear the like, I don't know how to describe it without being gross, but like the wet noises of their mouth, it's like, disgusting. Like when somebody's mouth sounds a bit watery. Sometimes when the microphone is too good, oh my God, general conference. This happens a lot with like older people, and it's not in their control. But I wish they'd turn the microphone sensitivity just a little bit lower. Because often when people give talks in general conference, that's the only thing I could pay attention to was the watery speaking. Yeah. Some people just aren't that sensitive to sound. But like my brother, for example, has misophonia, which is fear of sound, kind of. It's like you get really, really agitated with certain sounds, like coughing, sneezing, clearing your throat, all these sounds that normally wouldn't bother people, but like trigger a really intense physiological response in him. I wonder if it's almost like a feedback loop. Like you're already primed to be annoyed by that thing. Right? So every time it happens after that, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So I wonder if people with misophonia would benefit from therapies that help you break out of, like therapies that would be similar to those with anxiety and depression. QB asks, has anyone else ever see that clip of Hillary Clinton spitting out let's see, Anunnaki egg into a cup of water? Just thought about it. Wait, I have to see this. No, I haven't seen that. Is that a century egg? Oh, I can't find the video, QB. Dang it. All it's pulling up is just Hillary Clinton email. All the email stuff. It's like, no, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for funny video. I'll just imagine it in my mind. It's been banned. The video has been blocked from public knowledge. Never to be seen. Never to be seen. Let's see. Anunnaki is like the lizard people that secretly run the world, according to conspiracy theories. Refly, did you find it for me? Thank you. Thank you. Let me pause my music. Here we go. Wait, am I gonna be okay showing this? Okay. I'm sure I'll be fine. Okay. All right. Is it this, QB? Let's see.
And I want to thank Congresswoman Marcia Fudge for hosting us.
Oh. Oh.
I've been talking so.
Oh. Oh, God. Wait, I need to see that. What the hell? Ew. Jesus Christ. Ew. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to know. What do the comments say? That's her spitting out her batteries. She's an alien from outer space. I never heard about this. She's been hiding... Oh wait, it's like the SpongeBob reference. She's been hiding the pickles under her tongue the whole time. Thank you. You cursed me with knowledge, QB. Touche. You know, I asked for it. Great, now I'm gonna get all this stuff in my freaking feed. She then takes multiple sips from the same glass. Oh my gosh. I like the SpongeBob joke. That's funny. That's crazy. It's probably a tonsil stone. That's me when I go to the sink with my tonsil stones. That's what happens. Oh God. Anyway. Beautiful. Let me turn my music back on. Gross. Absolute horror. Wait, we have 3 emotions, you guys. Should we make a potion? What potion are we gonna make? Hold on. We have enough for a potion. Okay. Hello, can I open my Google Sheets, please? Okay, I'm opening up the official document. Okay, so the 3 emotions are joy, humor, and disgust. I feel like we've had that combination before. Could be wrong. Okay, joy, humor, disgust. Joy, humor, disgust. Joy, humor, surprise. Joy, humor, Joy, humor, disgust. Oh no, we haven't done that one yet. Okay. Joy, humor, and disgust is... Ooh, number 80. Okay. Number 80. Weakness to acid. Let me show you the potion. Hold on, I'm downloading it right now. I love this color. Oh, you guys, this color is amazing. Okay, here it is. You can't you wouldn't download a potion. Oh yeah, all the elbow fetishists are going crazy now. We're just showing off our whole body. You know what? There's something for everyone. I just have to find what to tap into, you know? Just gotta find the right thing to tap into. Elbows. Look at this. So this is resistance to acid. Weakness. Sorry, weakness to acid. So once you drink this, Hillary Clinton's green eggs are gonna come for you. If she spits those at you after you've drank this potion, sorry to tell you, but you're fucked. Yeah. Okay. Cut off mine. There she is. Put it right there. Top. If you take a close-up photo of your inside elbow when you have your arm folded, it looks like a butt crack. Don't ask me how I know. I'm looking at my elbow now like, Couldn't be because I tricked my brother into thinking I sent a picture of my ass. No. That's a flat ass. Oh shit. Which side do you do? Do you do the side? So I've got one side of my arm is really tan, is much more tan. The bottom side is literally you see how pale that is? It doesn't come across on the screen, but like, I'm quite pale. Which one's more accurate? Probably this side. My ass is not that flat though. I'd like to think. I'd like to imagine. My scoliosis helps with that actually. One of the benefits of having scoliosis is that with the spine curvature, it makes it appear that you have an ass larger than you actually do. It works best if you tan evenly. Yeah. I've got some keratosis pilaris. Actually, this is pretty accurate as well. I've got some keratosis pilaris, which is the red dots, which people commonly get on their ass as well. No comment with regards to that. No comment. I'm glad that you are finding humor in that, cutie. I'm glad. That makes me smile. Make sure I read all the comments. If I missed anybody's comment, feel free to send it to me again. Okay, we're gonna keep going. of that. It's like a shared communication, non-verbal communication. QB said, I'm rewatching Naruto with my girlfriend, and one of my best friends, they haven't seen it. We're almost at the end. Ooh. Is that one really long? I think it's One Piece. That's the one that's like insanely long. Oops. Oh no, okay, so the manga has 72 volumes and 700 chapters. Wow. How long is I want to see how many episodes there are. 500 episodes. Wow, so this is another one of those ones that takes a really long time. It must feel like a really big accomplishment when you finally finish. And then for One Piece isn't finished yet, right? Eris said there's no... Hi Eris, how's it going? There's no way anything good can be sustained that long. How can you tell a story how do you have that much to say? I'm sure I wonder if they change out the writers. Well, I mean, if you invent a whole new universe, I guess there could be always something new to talk about. But I've always found with most of the TV shows I watch, like, they usually devolve over time. Hi, Orange. I like your lifestyles. Thank you. Today we're talking, so for those who are new in joining us, today we've talked about many things. We recently just finished talking about Hillary Clinton and her acid green eggs. And this potion up here, as much as I would like it to be resistance to acid, it's actually weakness to acid. So, yeah, sorry. You better steer clear. You better steer really far away from Hillary Clinton if you ever see her after drinking this potion. We've also talked about forgetting that one day we will die, and what happens when we have the realization that we will die. But how we can also use it to our advantage, or use it at least to live a life that we want to live. And then we also talked about farting. So, I mean, we really have it all. I'm open to any topic at any time. And psychedelics, of course. I mean, where's there a stream where I don't talk about psychedelics or Mormonism? One Piece is overrated. Oh, and QB agrees. Okay. One Piece is at 1,200 episodes and counting. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, aren't they not done with that one? That's just too overwhelming for me. I just can't even. I don't even want to start watching that one. Eris said it would be a good nostalgic constant, I guess. Let me think. What's a story that I would continuously... I can't think of a story that I just want to constantly see content from. Like, all of my favorite shows... of all my favorite shows, a lot of them I feel like overstayed their welcome. Like, they kind of devolved after a certain point. Like stories like Lord of the Rings, for example. Once they started making the Hobbit movies, I mean, I like the Hobbit movies, but That was the beginning of the end. Because then they started making Rings of Power. And the first season of Rings of Power was okay. But I stopped watching after one episode of the second season. I was like, absolutely not. Star Wars. Orange says, doesn't forgetting mortality help plan for a prosperous, eternal future? Well, I think that's the way a lot of people like to see it. You know, perhaps when the thought of dying comes along, people then fill it and replace it with that reassurance that, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter in the end, in the grand scheme of things, because we will have an eternal life afterwards. I'm sure that's how a lot of people cope with that. But for me, like when I get that thought, it just like, woo, you know, I just get like wired. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I better pay attention to everything. I better pay attention, because like I'm not gonna have this body forever. I'm not gonna have this life forever. I'm not gonna live. Like, everything could be in flux. I could lose everything at any point. Any single person in my life could pass away at any time. And I have to live under that assumption. Not in the sense of like living in constant fear, but in the sense of constant appreciation. Constant appreciation. Which is hard. It's hard because it's built into our biology, I feel like, to forget. And also just to forget things that we haven't experienced. So we also talked about generational forgetting, how like the institutions that are crumbling today, I think it's because people just simply don't know the reasons why we create those institutions in the first place. Therefore, they have no attachment to them. Thank you so much for lurking, QV. It's nice to have you in the conversation. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You know, that's why civilizations happen in cycles. Cycles of stability and cycles and periods of conflict and anarchy. Oh, you're so nice. Thank you, QB. It's really nice of you to say. I always love hanging out in your streams too. You're genuinely a really good person. And yeah, I always enjoy our conversations. Oh, joy. Ooh, congratulations, 5 stream streak. 5 times in a row. See, and I'm so appreciative of the fact that people continue to come back and spend time with me. Of all the things you could do, you chose to show me some support, and so that doesn't go unnoticed. I'm trying to think if I had anything else to say about that, about forgetting and amnesia. There was something I was going to say. I forgot. I forgot. It was meant to be. I wasn't meant to remember. It'll come back to me at some point. Oh, I met up with my limerent object yesterday. Good news, you guys. I think the limerence has faded. Eris says, as soon as you stop liking Yowie, I'm out. Okay, I'll never stop liking it then. Thank you for the Silas, by the way. I still am playing my Love and Deep Space game. There's a feature in the game where if you click on Silas like 100 times in a row or something, you have to click on it multiple times and like click on his body. Eventually you can get him to turn around, and he does something really cute. If you can like touch his ass, and he'll be like, ah, you know, it's so cute. He'll be like, I was doing it last night, and I was showing my husband, and he was like, okay. He was like, okay, sweetie, whatever. That's my favorite part of the game. I think one of the lines he has is, there's a price to pay for thrills or something. And I don't know. Orange says, I remember thinking as a kid that I would probably live to 120. I just couldn't fathom dying. Yeah, I don't think I ever really solidly thought about dying until I was well into my into my 20s. Like, I don't think I really ever thought about what dying means until like not even when I considered a trigger warning for people wanting to end their life. But even when I was at that stage of where I wanted to end my life, I don't think I even understood what that meant. And so it wasn't until I was like 25, I feel like, that I finally grasped what that really meant. I introduced a topic like 3 minutes ago and I already forgot. It was important. It was important. It didn't need to be said, I guess. That's fine. Reflex said, I'm usually looking for an escape, but actually not wanting to end life per se. A paradox. Oh, I've had that thought before. Yeah. And it's quite common. Where it's like you want to have an escape. You want to disappear. You want to maybe have a life that's not your own. You don't want to have the consequence of actually dying. You don't want to cease to exist, but you do want to cease to live the way you've been living. Yeah. I know what that feels like. That's a really hard way to live. Orange says, the other odd question I pondered last week was why we invented soup spoons. Surely regular spoons work just as well with soup. Oh, sorry. I misread that. Thanks for clarifying. The chat is really far away, Reply. It's like 2 feet away from me. Surely you can use any spoon. Here's the thing. I don't really even know what the difference between a soup spoon and a regular spoon is. Now I need to look. I've heard of soup spoons, obviously. I mean, like, in terms of, Asian soup spoons, like, for, like, pho and, like ramen and stuff, I think I can understand that. But in terms of, the Western soup spoons, I don't understand that. Regular spoons are harder to jam in your... Which kind of spoon are we talking about, Eris? I'm having a very hard time visualizing. Never mind. Don't answer that. I don't want to visualize. So the Chinese spoon, I think I can kind of understand because like the surface area is increased, but also like I feel like it is well designed to like be the vessel that's like it's both an increase of for this one, it's inefficient because the increase of surface area is cool, but once you put your mouth around it, the likelihood of the soup spilling over your mouth is like very high. But then when you have this, I feel, oh, I didn't want to click on it. When you have this, I feel like it's more designed to handle a mouth. Or whatever else you may be envisioning. Eris said, Western soup spoons are usually smaller and have a more circular and deeper bowl, like a cross between a regular one and a measuring one. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Orange, you're asking the right questions. Because why does this matter? Eris said, I feel like chopsticks are almost always inferior, but Asian soup spoons are way... Eris, my friend, have you ever been to China? If you go to China, you will understand why chopsticks are superior. There are just some foods that you just can't eat with a fork. For example, once you go from eating noodle soup with a fork to like with chopsticks, it's so much easier. Chopsticks are bad at rice. Well, maybe Westerners are just bad at cooking rice. Have you thought about that? Maybe the rice is not, because when you like the rice that people eat with chopsticks, it sticks together. Both are true. Okay. Yeah, no, I just feel like it's my duty as a U.S. and China relations expert. I'm not an expert to advocate for eating rice with chopsticks. No, it even when it is sticky, it is kind of hard to eat. But I learned how to do it. You just got to be really gentle. You got to be really gentle with the rice. You got to tenderly, just tenderly. Cradle it from both sides. And it also forces you to slow down as well. You gotta slow down your eating. You can't eat really fast. With the noodles too, like you can only pick up so much, and therefore like it gets cooled as you're eating it. With a fork too, like it's just you're limited by how much you can pick up and then put in your mouth. Maybe the Vietnamese have it right. Chopsticks and a soup spoon combo. Well, yeah. There's some Chinese soup places that they give you a spoon, but other places, sometimes you just drink it with the bowl. Yeah, maybe we go Filipino or Indian and eat with our fingers. I've never eaten Indian food with my fingers before. I feel like in order to do that, I would need to... Well, my nails are pretty clean. I'd say I need to clean my nails. It's not like I never eat with my hands. It's just like I'm afraid the curry will get underneath my nails and stain them yellow. But I do want the experience. I want the experience of traveling to India and eating curry with my hands. If other people... Here's the thing, like if I'm amongst people eating in a specific way in a different culture, I will replicate that. I won't like be the American who asks for their knife and fork and no. People are eating this way, I'm gonna eat this way. But just make sure to use the hand that you don't use to wipe in order to eat. Because that's like a very strong, I feel like that's a very strong superstition. Do it as soon as possible. Traveling sucks the older you get. Good tip, or just let it crust. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to have any more big trips before I have kids. That's another thing, is that you want to do a lot of your traveling before you have kids, because once you have them, it'll be kind of difficult. But I think I've traveled to most of the places I want to. Like, I could be okay not traveling for a while. Orange says, I just know Mom always brought out the soup spoons whenever we had soup. It's one of those cultural habits so deeply entrenched. Nobody asked why we needed twice as many spoons, because somehow liquids deserved their own spoon. I think I can see it both ways, like in terms of efficiency and in terms of like etiquette and ritual. There's definitely like, I think there can be beauty in ritual. For example, when I watched The Crown, there was like an episode of The Crown where they were trying to downsize the British monarchy. I was gonna say monastery. They were trying to downsize, so they were trying to get rid of like a lot of the departments. I don't know. Like, oh, we have the Earl of Swan caretaking, and it's like their one job is to take care of the swans on the royal properties. And then they had the person who polished the silver, and then they had the person for this, and they had all the specialized, very it did bring to light how absurd a lot of it is, like, and especially when they were thinking about like trying to be more efficient. But at the same time, like, these people had spent generations perfecting their craft of like how to polish silver, how to take care, like the knowledge of like these swans or these birds. Like they had a very sophisticated knowledge of these things, and it was almost like they were like destroying a part of their culture by doing that. So I can see the value in like certain rituals and certain cultural practices. Just get a tapeworm instead of kids. Oh, God. That actually bothers me a lot because like I've had a genuine fear because I eat a lot of sushi, and the risk of getting a tapeworm is very low, as long as it's prepared properly. Because I really do enjoy eating raw fish. It's delicious. It's absolutely super tasty. But I have had points in my life where I've eaten sushi at some not so nice places. Like, for example, I wouldn't eat sushi at a buffet. I don't know, But, like, I've had times where I started experiencing some symptoms of, like, what could potentially be a tapeworm, and it freaked me the hell out. That thought to me is very terrifying. Of all the things, of all the ailments that one could have in one's body, I think having a parasite is probably one of the worst. Refly said it's impossible to get a parasite from sushi. Are you sure about that? I think you're incorrect. All fish needs to be frozen for 24 hours. Well, I know that. But, like, does everybody do that consistently? I don't know. Well, okay, so actually, when I went to restaurants, it has never been a concern. But, like, for making so I've made sushi at home before, and I like bought the fish from the grocery store. I am worried about, like, I'm trying really hard not to be like culturally insensitive, because that's not what I'm trying to convey. But like, it's been the times where I bought the fish from the grocery store and made it myself, and that's when I've been concerned, because that one I don't know if it's like been frozen before or not. But anyway, it's a pointless conversation. Okay. I'm gonna turn off my display capture. Eris said, no, I'm too old and poor. Eris. I'll never have children unless I partner with somebody who already has them. Well, and also, like, it's up to you what you want, what kind of life you want. Having kids is just the life that I want. It's something I've thought about for a long time. So, I mean, I guess, like, I would be okay. I wouldn't be, like, super, super mentally distraught if I ended up not having kids. Sorry, I got distracted. I read the chat and then I got distracted. What was I saying? I was saying, I don't know, not important. Refly said, even the fresh fish from the store is frozen for at least 24 hours, at least in the EU. Well, yeah, so, I mean, practices differ across countries. Yeah, the EU tends to have pretty safe standards. But anyway, I think I'd like to have a different conversation. Eris said, hey, you're fine. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Let's see, what time is it? Okay, we got half an hour left. Let's see if we can finish this game, and then we'll be done. Maybe. Thank you, Refly. I agree with Eris. I think that it's valid to have those anxieties, you know. I know that it's not rational, and people have anxieties all the time about things that aren't rational. It's just what happens. It's just what people have. Again, it's not me trying to be like culturally insensitive or anything. It's just like a thought that had crossed my mind because I'm terrified of that thing occurring to me. Okay. 3, 7, 6, 2. This one. Get your husband pregnant. Eris, I never understood that. I've seen like images in your Discord of like, I've seen images of like Mario and Luigi, and like Luigi's pregnant or something, or I've seen images of like Shadow and Sonic and like Shadow's pregnant or something, and I never understood like why do people do that. It kind of like I think it's part of my Mormon guilt resurfacing, where I look at that and I'm like, this is genuinely cursed. But perhaps that people do make those images very seriously. Mpreg. I think I've seen that word before, but I'm not solid. Should I look it up? I don't know if I should. Let me look it up. Oh, it just means male pregnancy. A trope in fiction in which male characters become pregnant. I don't understand this. Let's see. Let's go to Reddit for our, here, I'm gonna go to Reddit for my answers. I think this is exactly the place I need to be. What is it about mpreg that some people like more than normal pregnancy? Why is mpreg so disproportionately more popular? It's more popular simply because the top ships are all male. That, and I also think most cis-straight relationships don't need the clarification. These are probably tagged as pregnancy. Huh. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Yeah, I don't understand. Because, like, I shipped men before all the time. But I guess, like, fundamentally I knew that they were incapable of having children together. And so I didn't imagine it. Starts posting the emojis. Yeah, I'm sure if it's a genuine fetish, like, it's fine. People can have whatever they want. Oh dear. Scripture. Let me read. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. You can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to. I see. Which includes getting my boyfriend pregnant. Oh, okay. I see the connection. Should we really be given unlimited freedom with our minds? I sometimes I feel like Americans have too much freedom. DCI is gonna come back in and accuse me of being whatever that word was. I was more or less joking. I was not saying that seriously. I was not arguing for censorship. Internet censorship. I would never do that. But DCI. God damn it. I was hoping you weren't still here. Oh my gosh. Yep. You know what? The people can't be trusted. The people can't be trusted with this. Like, I just... Too much. It's too much. It's too much for my brain to handle. No, I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm genuinely not. If anybody ever feels shamed by me, I don't ever do it intentionally. A lot of it has to do with, like, the socialization of being raised Mormon and the intense judgment.
我在北京。
That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. But it may explain why I'm a bit more judgmental than most people. Oh my gosh. Ivan's here too. Hi, Ivan. No. There's certain people who I care really much about their perception of me, and Ivan is one of them, and he always comes in at the absolute fucking worst times. Hi. I hope your stream was good the other day. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it. I had a prior commitment. But you guys should check out Ivan. He's really cool. You all know Ivan, but if you don't, philosophy streamer. And science and technology as well. Eris said God didn't have to grow the tree of knowledge in the garden. Yeah, he didn't have to. If God wasn't prepared for the people to gain this type of knowledge, impreg knowledge, then why did he create the tree in the first place? I'm gonna, here, 1 second. I need to put my thing in my, did you hear that? That was my hip. Did you hear my hip pop? My hip likes to pop sometimes. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. My friend says the serpent is the hero of the Genesis story. Why would that be? Oh, because the serpent is introducing. He's the one who introduced. Isn't the serpent Satan? So Satan's the hero? It's interesting. I think the Mormon perception of Satan is different than the regular Christian perception. Or the story. According to the Mormon version, the Mormon version of Satan, his whole spiel was that he wanted humanity to not have choices and just be guaranteed to go to heaven, and that there wouldn't be any sort of my understanding is that, well, let me just pull up the lore so I'm quoting this correctly. So like, okay, we're going straight to the source. Mormon doctrine. Satan is the enemy of all righteousness. Oh yes, agency, or the ability to choose. This version, I've never seen this image before. It's not often you see images of Satan in Mormon artwork. It's usually just Caucasian Jesus. Mao would love Mormon Satan. It kind of does look like a prop, like a the color red is very nice. So basically Satan said, I will redeem all mankind, that one soul shall not be lost, and surely I will do it. Wherefore give me thine honor. And so he persuaded a third of humanity. To follow him into outer darkness, or hell. Different than hell. Basically, just being away from the divine power of God. I'm not sure if this is the same as the regular Christian definition. So this is very important. These are the biggest sins when it comes to the Mormon Church. He attempts to undermine the family by confusing gender, promoting sexual relations outside of marriage, ridiculing marriage, and discouraging childbearing by married adults who would otherwise raise children in righteousness. These are the main tenets of the Mormon faith. I bet outer darkness is cool as hell. The question is, though, would you rather just not have choices? How would that even work? So, okay. But, so is he arguing for having, like, just a civilization that lives in blissful ignorance for their entire... Isn't there a Star Trek episode about that? I feel like there's a Star Trek episode about that, where there's an entire planet of people that just live in blissful ignorance in heaven all the time. No choices, but an eternal orgy? Yeah, that sounds awful. That sounds terrible. Yeah. Sounds like a goth club. I've said bollocks. They just made that up, marriage and gender stuff, to rationalize their bigotry. The episode is called The Apple. Oh, that's nice. Interesting. Okay, maybe I should watch that. I should watch that episode. I think even my husband has recommended that episode to me. Could I watch that episode independently of the other ones? No, I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to watch. Especially if you guys made those epic tier lists. I didn't understand anything of what was going on, but I love the enthusiasm. I love the debating that was happening. Especially, well, I feel like Eris's community is much less nice to him than the Ibis community is. There's a lot of contention. And these are the issues that matter. These are the important issues. The philosophy community on Twitch is really focused on the important issues, which is who deserves to be an S tier and who deserves to be an F tier of Star Trek tier list. That and all of Star Trek: The Next Generation, season 2 onward. Oh yes, I remember either you or Eris saying that. Yes, I remember. Okay, so I'll just skip the whole first season. Eris said it. It's okay if my chat is calling me. Oh, so this is just like what we were talking about. Eris, you missed our conversation. I was talking about this woman on Twitch who does findom, financial domination content, and she'll like call her chatters a loser. She'll like bully him and be mean to him. It's the same thing. You just gotta. It's about the vibe you want to curate. And so who am I to yuck someone's yum? If that's your vibe, if that's what you enjoy, then Eris says I need to partner up with Jess to do this to dudes. Yeah. You could wait. So the partnership would be you could come up with the insults. Oh, this is perfect. You could come up with the insults and she'll be the one to make the insults. Oh, yeah. Refly recommends watching the first season as well. Oh dear. We're starting a debate in my chat too. The residual debate of the Star Trek has arrived. It's that powerful. Okay. I don't have the strength, Eris. I don't have the. I was saying like I might branch out into this type of content, but the thing is, I would have to like either make an entirely different channel, or I would have to stream in a completely different time frame, because I'd have to completely transform how I interact with the camera. The current version of me that I've decided is my streaming version is just like stream of consciousness, say whatever, you know. But the if I were to do something that's for money, I would have to put on some sort of an image. I would have to curate my character that I'd be portraying. I don't know if I could. I almost want to see if I could do it, but I wouldn't want anybody who knows me to know about it. Marissa, Mistress of the Dark. It's one of those psychological things that, like, I know that people already expect me to act in a certain way, and therefore it completely prevents me from being able to act in any way other than the version that I've established. Have you ever seen Being John Malkovich? No, I have not. What's this? Is it a movie? Oh. That's pretty jarring. In this quirky cult favorite comedy, unemployed New York City puppeteer reluctantly takes a temp job as a filing clerk. He discovers a portal that leads into the mind of renowned actor John Malkovich. When he learned his attractive co-worker is in on the secret, they begin an unusual business scheme and an odd relationship. Hey, this looks pretty interesting. By the way, Eris, I bookmarked the. Don't worry, I'm definitely planning on watching this, and I will tell you about it. I'm just waiting for when the time's right. But you see here, it's the only thing I bookmarked. Well, besides all this other stuff. I'm gonna watch it. That's how you know I'm serious. Maybe I should I bookmark this one too? We can't all be Duncan did it again. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Duncan has figured out the formula. He's so smart. I mean that genuinely. I think he's really onto something here. Yeah. I want to follow in his lead. I think he really opens himself up to freedom in that, like, he has his channel for like just casually hanging out, chilling with people. He has his channel where he does a official formal show. He's got the baiting show, which I agree with you, Eris. I think he's really found his thing, but he still has these other things too that help, have different outlets for his creative expression. I've loved seeing it unfold and seeing him continue to try different things. It's really inspiring to me. These are the kind of people I like interacting with on Twitch. Like people who just like continue to try. They're not motivated by the common external motivations. They're just motivated. They have this like internal fire that just keeps them going. And they're like also focused on lifting other people up along the way. Like, I want to be like him when I grow up. Am I stuck? No, I've got 2 5s here. We're fine. I have 2 5s. That's really hot, actually. Is somebody doing a lip licking counter? I'm gonna go back in my bot and see if I can count all the times that I licked my lips. I'm trying to reduce it. That's my tick. That's my tick that really bothers me. I think everybody has ticks. It's just like some people care about them more than others, and some people have them more severe than other people. Luckily mine aren't that bad. Eris said, Ivan told me the secret to getting a man pregnant is having a pure heart. You could trust him too because he has a PhD. Ivan has a lot of power. I really think he does. Cause he does the smart guy thing really, really well. So he could basically say anything and I'd believe it. I'm being dead ass. I feel like I have the opposite problem. I'm always underselling myself, and so nobody ever takes what I say seriously. Ivan says, I owe it all to Grayskull. Let me see. What is this? I think a lot of it has to do with the way you present yourself, too. Is this related to He-Man? Or is this something else? Ivan, I'm not finding what you're saying. Let's see. I'm finding a castle. A castle from Masters of the Universe. Let's see. Gary Cross, professor of modern history, writes about Castle Grayskull in his book Men to Boys, The Making of Modern Immaturity. He contends that Castle Grayskull was emblematic of the making of a boy-man culture in the 1980s. According to Cross, the boy-man culture refers to a cultural shift where adult men increasingly resist traditional markers of maturity, such as domestic responsibility and career advancement, in favor of retaining adolescent interests. This modern immaturity is characterized by an embrace of youth-oriented consumerism. What? That's crazy. A major feature of Mattel. Oh, so it's like a toy as well. It's crazy how even a toy can be that influential. Wow. Thing is, like, I played with Barbies growing up, and that didn't make me hyper feminine. Nobody has to answer this, but did you... No one has to answer. But did you ever make the Barbies? Well, none of you guys played with Barbies, but like you could transpose this to any toy. Did you ever make the Barbies fuck? I did. Even though my Mormon self had no idea what I was doing. Let's take all the clothes off and put them together in the bed. They'll just lie down. That's all they do. They just lie down together. I feel like that also contributed. There's like generational communication gaps. And so like I was playing with my siblings and therefore I was like teaching my siblings a very strange story. Ivan said I was ridiculously repressed as a young person. Well, you overcame. I'm sorry to hear that, though. But look at how far you've come. You've done a lot. No one's caught on that his accent is phony. When he's off stream, he speaks Scouse. What? I am learning so many new words today, you guys. Thank you. Is this like a type of... It must be a specific type of accent. I always find it so funny how British people like pick on each other for their accents. I don't know why it's such a big deal. Like, weren't you guys the people who invented class? Like, why do you invent class and then like amongst yourselves like have all these battles of like which accent determines which class? I don't get it. I don't understand. One thing I do wonder is like, after living, Ivan, I'm not sure how long you've lived in America for, but it seems like quite some time, right? So after living in a different country for such a long time, do you find that your accent does kind of diminish? Ivan said, oh, we invented class so we could oppress everyone who lived northwest of London. What good are weapons if you can't use them on your neighbors? This is reminding me of the worst part of studying international relations, which is realism. I hated that. I absolutely despised learning about realism. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I mean, it's not necessarily wrong, it's just stupid. You're telling me that every country in the world is living with this idea of anarchy, and because like some people have a greater stockpile of big guns that can just like annihilate other countries, that is what determines the system of power in this world. That's it. Whoever has the biggest gun, whoever has the biggest stick is the one who wins. I felt incredibly depressed after I learned that. I was like, no, I refuse. I can't live like this. Like, this is... And then I learned about constructivism. And I was like, oh, yes. I learned about liberalism, and I was like, okay, I can see how that would give some comfort, but that's a bit too fantasy realm for me. But then I learned about constructivism. Everything is all just concepts and names, and it's all just arbitrary, and these ideas of nations and peoples are just, they're all abstract concepts within our mind. If we all just collectively decided that we're not a nation anymore, then we're not. Ivan said, I'm from the East End. My accent was incomprehensible to my U.S. high school friends, so I made my accent posher. Oh. Wow. Wait, that makes me want to hear your previous accent. I want to know. I want to know who's the real Ivan. Eris said, and yet it seems realism is the descriptive state of the world. Well, because everybody collectively believes that. If everybody collectively stopped believing that, then it wouldn't be the case. That's the problem, is everybody just decides. Ivan says, we have a stockpile of big words. And Eris said, you don't need big guns if your good friends have big guns. So that was just starting off. That was my first class in international relations. And then when I took international law, that was the final straw. That was the final straw for me. When I learned how international law works, I completely lost it. I mean, I remember distinctively, like me and my other classmates, we had moments where we just looked at each other and we were like, you mean to tell me that this is all just bullshit? You mean to tell me that there is no international police force that just fixes all the... You mean to tell me that the UN has absolutely no enforcement mechanism, and that the 5 most powerful countries in the world just control everything and have unlimited power, infinite power? You mean to tell me that the U.S. broke the international law multiple times and started wars completely based on ideology that was false? You mean to tell me that Yeah, it was a very difficult time. I won't lie. I was living in so much blissful ignorance before that. Then I learned about like the Iraq War, and everything just fell apart. Refly said, it's not about the length of the stick, but how you use it in battle. Refly said, Ivan was actually the lead singer of the business. England 5, Germany 1. Eris said, and that's the shit of human cooperation. We could have gay space communism. Wait, let me read that again. We could have gay space communism, but instead we have evangelical capitalism. That's so sad. That's incredibly sad. That shit hurts to learn. Yeah. That's one of the downsides of living in a very incredibly sheltered life, is learning about reality and how it operates. I would much rather start off knowing these things, you know. I want, like, okay, so for example, my husband, he always tells me the reason why, like, he's less disappointed by life is because when he grew up, he read, the books he was reading was The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, and that was what he was reading for fun. So, meanwhile, I was just fucking living in fantasy land. I was like pretending I was in the world of Harry Potter, and like running around the field with my friends. And we found this like magical, mysterious bog, which was just like a giant hole in the field, which was probably very dangerous. And we would see like how deep everybody could get into the body of water, with seemingly no end. And we would just like imagine all these. We had a wedding of breadsticks from from the cafeteria. No, it wasn't breadsticks. It was Play-Doh. So we had a Play-Doh wedding during school, and what we did was we snuck breadsticks in our bags out into the field, and we used that to make like a makeshift wedding cake, and we married the Play-Doh. And that was my childhood. Meanwhile, my husband grew up with, I don't know. I don't know which one I'd rather have. You know what? I'm happy that I had the circumstances I did. My husband grew up fucking bullied for the food he brought to school because, you know, growing up Asian American, you can imagine, especially in a predominantly white community. And he grew up with immigrant parents that had to work really hard for the life they have. And so he, from the very beginning, knew how reality works. And that's what makes him exceptionally good at being a functioning member of society. And I'm not. I will live in my fantasy realm for as long as I can. Okay, my friends, it is time to go. I gotta go to yoga. I gotta go do my yoga with my other people. I gotta pretend. We're not pretending. I gotta do my yoga so I can feel better about my existence. But I hope you all have a fantastic day. It's so nice to have you to spend time with me. Have a great rest of your day. I'll probably stream again on Wednesday. Sorry, no raid for today. I literally have 3 minutes. Tell Sage and Moonbeam I say namaste. I will, Eris. I will. And I'll try not to fart in hot yoga, because that's like the worst environment for that. Try and hold back. Exercise my sublime sphincter control, which I bragged about multiple times. Nobody has more control than me. Okay, sending love to you guys. Okay. Bye. See you.